Joe Rogan just dropped a bombshell on his podcast that's shaking the internet to its core. He says Cassie's testimony could be the final nail in Diddy's coffin. The trial hasn't even officially started, and already it's spiraling out of control. Between explosive video footage, a growing witness list, and shocking celebrity connections, including Elon Musk and Jamie Foxx, Diddy's empire may be on the verge of total collapse.
It's just amazing how many people on the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously, it's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes, it's like J-Lo was like his ex-girlfriend, and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion. Like if she's gonna be warning people, why did she never warn anyone about Diddy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole thing is so strange to watch play out. It seems like the Diddy thing was like an Epstein-type compromise deal, where whether he was doing it himself. Conceivably, people want to think that he's attached to some intelligence agency or something like that. I think he's a gangster who made $1 billion and knew how to control people by compromising them. That's what I think. Whether or not he had help, I don't know. Whether or not he shared some of that information with people so they knew they had compromising stuff on people, I don't know. But clearly he was doing it for his own jollies too. There was something sick about it.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that people in the music and entertainment industry had to know that Diddy was like, kids basically. And yet they still fed him kids. And like, where's the accountability?
There had to be rumors. There had to be.
They had to know.
Yeah.
They had to know.
Cat Williams is talking about it on.
Exactly.
Yeah, on that podcast.
But like who's feeding him the kids?
Right. Yeah, and what videos do they have of these people where they're willing to defend him? When they're willing to keep quiet about all this, like how many people were compromised?
Yeah,
the whole thing is fucking crazy.
Crazy.
With Cassie set to take the stand, Joe Rogan's withering verdict, and the feds closing in on tape after tape, Diddy's empire is teetering on the brink of collapse. Stay locked in, because when opening statements hit next week, every secret, every witness, and every freak-off tape will be laid bare. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single explosive moment as this trial unravels.
Day 4 of Diddy's trial wrapped with a massive revelation. Cassie Ventura, his ex-girlfriend and longtime accuser, has been confirmed as the first witness set to testify against him. She's doing so publicly, without the anonymity other alleged victims are granted. Even more jaw-dropping, Cassie is 9 months pregnant and still willing to take the stand. According to prosecutors, her testimony will occupy the bulk of the first week of the trial, with just 2 brief witnesses slated to go before her. This alone signals how critical she is to the government's case. Cassie isn't hiding. She's stepping into the spotlight, ready to confront the man she says terrorized her for years. But Diddy's team isn't going down without a fight. They're taking a bold and highly controversial approach, claiming he was actually the victim in his relationship with Cassie. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, argued that there was violence on both sides. They admit domestic violence occurred, but insist it wasn't coercive. He said, "At what point does it become coercive?" The judge responded sternly, "You're arguing that they were just violent with each other." And Agnifilo agreed. Diddy's team also stated they'll submit cell phone footage and the full, unedited version of the infamous hotel assault video in an attempt to show there's more to the story. But critics are calling this an act of desperation.
Right. And I know you ain't signed it. I know you ain't signed an NDA, clearly. But did he make his artists sign NDAs and people that work for him?
Well, a lot of these rappers, a lot of these industry people, anybody who does business nowadays with the internet, they have NDAs, non-disclosure. That means that if you work for them, you around them, you can't disclose any of the information about them. It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm gonna give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Combs, Justin Combs, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened. Y'all can't talk about none of that. But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to. And I think that's those girls that was, I think Danity Kane. I think a couple of them didn't sign it. And boy, oh boy, they probably gonna go after him too. Cause I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo, I'm gonna drug their ass off and pick them up and pimp them out to my nick. He said, I'm gonna drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my. And I was like, there's somebody kids, and walked out. And it's somebody that heard me. It's somebody that heard me. I mean, well, it's not only somebody that heard me, it's somebody that I know who was in the studio at the time that happened, and I still talk to him today. And we were just talking about that the other day. He done moved back to Indiana. I don't know why. I'm gonna give you that one. He said he was gonna drug them all out and pimp them out.
One of the most damning pieces of evidence in this trial is the 2016 Intercontinental Hotel video showing Diddy violently assaulting Cassie in a hallway. The footage went viral after CNN released it, showing Diddy chasing, slapping, and dragging Cassie. Initially, Diddy apologized, releasing a video in which he admitted full responsibility.
On the darkest times in your life, sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy. Going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
I'm disgusted with myself. I was then, I am now, he said. But now his team claims the video was doctored. They allege it was sped up, edited out of sequence, and misrepresented. They filed a motion to exclude the footage from trial entirely, arguing CNN altered the content and that the original no longer exists. CNN, however, stands firm. They claim the original does exist, was not manipulated, and can be verified. Enter Joe Rogan. The world's most popular podcaster didn't hold back. On a recent episode, Rogan compared Diddy to a modern-day Caligula, suggesting extreme power turned him into something monstrous. Rogan slammed the notion that Diddy was the victim, saying that Cassie's testimony and the hotel video clearly show she was terrified, not violent. He questioned how hotel security didn't call police immediately and speculated they may have been paid off. Rogan also suggested that Diddy ran an operation similar to Jeffrey Epstein's, where powerful people were filmed in compromising situations. Everyone who went to those freak-off parties knew what
There's
was
so
going
many
on,
horrific
Rogan
accusations though involving young singers, like children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah,
It's so crazy.
it is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama,
Jay-Z,
everybody.
I'm sure the Clintons were there at some point.
Maybe Bill.
I mean, everybody hung with Diddy. That's the other tricky
Yeah,
thing. Like, Diddy
that
hung
is
out
the
with
thing.
everybody. And I've spoken to a bunch of people who are like, yo, great dude, like, always there for you, never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And then
Everybody
the
says, get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins start eating after midnight. Everybody who tells the stories like, I saw her go upstairs and these dudes are fucking like right on the couch.
Yeah.
And then I go in this room and these guys are fucking, and it's like,
and pros. Like apparently he was getting male gigolos to fuck girls. That
girls.
Yeah, that was one of the rumors, like the
Male
freak off. So he would
gigolos.
hire the professional dicks to have sex with the girls, and I think he would watch allegedly. That's what was alleged, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and that's the other thing. Like, I wonder, like, is that just a power thing?
It's a Caligula thing.
What does that mean?
Caligula, like the emperor. Did you ever see that movie, Caligula?
No.
It's about just Roman empires being completely out of control. Caligula was like almost like porn, and it was a movie made, I want to say in the 70s. It's a crazy movie. But it's just detailing extreme excess where you can never fill the hole.
But what is the hole you need to fill? Like, I'm trying to find, like, what's the
just
catalyst?
chaos. What year was this? 79. Yeah. That's Malcolm McDowell, right? Yeah. Yeah, the dude from Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah.
It's a crazy movie, man.
But
and it's still mild in comparison to what Absolute have. Absolute power corrupts. Caligula.
Okay, so then there's the question. It's like, can you take a completely normal person, give them power, and then they become that? Or does it take a power-hungry person that has this void that needs to be filled, and then when they are given that power, you see the worst version of them?
Ask your CIA boy. I bet he's got the answers. I bet he knows the exact formula.
The list of celebrity connections is raising eyebrows. Names like Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, and even Mike Myers have surfaced, though none have been charged. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan questioned why Diddy's ex, Jennifer Lopez, never warned the public about his behavior, yet now speaks out against other political figures. Elon Musk chimed in as well, expressing concern over Diddy's ties to Kamala Harris and questioning why so many from his social circle are now involved in politics. The implication? Hollywood and Washington knew something and chose silence. Court documents reveal that the jury will be shown disturbing footage, nicknamed the Freak Off tapes, allegedly capturing Diddy in the act of orchestrating drug-fueled sex parties. Diddy claims these acts were consensual and involved professional performers, but prosecutors argue they were part of a criminal enterprise, where women were coerced, trafficked, and filmed. Jurors have already confirmed they're comfortable viewing this graphic material, but the emotional toll this evidence could take on everyone involved is hard to overstate. Federal prosecutors reportedly interviewed hundreds of witnesses before moving forward, and their conviction rate is a staggering 97%. They say Diddy turned his businesses into a front for a trafficking operation, complete with threats, bribery, and cover-ups. Among the most chilling revelations, some key witnesses are now dead, meaning the defense can't confront them in court. Others are anonymous, further complicating Diddy's legal strategy. The defense claims they weren't even allowed to see who the witnesses were until April 18th, months after the charges were filed. This, they argue, makes a fair defense nearly impossible. Adding to the chaos are shocking claims from other celebrities. Jamie Foxx reportedly told friends that Diddy poisoned him in 2023. Foxx suffered a mysterious injury requiring stitches after an altercation at his birthday dinner. Then there's Jonathan Audi, a man arrested in 2018 who claimed during his interrogation that Diddy made him participate in explicit acts with Cassie while Diddy watched. Audi called Diddy a manipulative sex trafficker operating under the radar of public scrutiny. These aren't isolated accusations. They paint a picture of someone who used power, wealth, and fear to build an untouchable empire, until now. Rogan compared Diddy's behavior to Roman Emperor Caligula, a figure consumed by power and sexual excess. He asked whether it was fame that corrupted Diddy, or if he was already power-hungry when success merely unmasked his true self. Either way, Rogan believes the outcome is inevitable. "This is the beginning of the end," he said. And with Cassie prepared to testify, he's not alone in that belief. The jury is almost fully seated. Opening statements begin next week. Every detail, from hotel surveillance videos to Cassie's direct testimony, will be examined in federal court. Diddy's legal team is scrambling to suppress evidence and challenge the prosecution's narrative, but the prosecution has the footage, the witnesses, and the momentum. Cassie's voice could bring down one of the most powerful men in entertainment, and Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and millions of viewers will be watching every minute. So buckle up, because when those courtroom doors swing open next week, we're not just witnessing a trial, we're watching an empire burn.
Is that he need to take his counsel advice. Because if he think he's gonna get out of this from the federal government, he out his mind. They in the process of plea bargaining, trying to do a plea bargain session with him, and he not taking it. That's probably why one of the lawyers jumped off the case. Remember Benjamin Bradford, his first lawyer with the Cassie situation? He said, give her the 10 million and make this go away, brother. He ended up giving her 30 million. He's not taking the lawyer's advice. 9 times out of 10, they probably got him a good plea bargain. Yo, listen to me, we can give you 15 years. 10 or 15 years. You do that, you come out, you only have to do like 12, 13. Come off to a halfway house. You still could live some of your life out as a free man. He don't want to hear it. So it is what it is. The federal government do not want to go to court. 9 times out of 10, they want a plea bargain with you. You understand? You accept the plea, you accept the time, you go ahead, you save the government money, you save them time and effort and manpower. If you don't believe that that white guy was a plant, then something is wrong with you. He done sold them enough drugs, but they haven't hit him with that charge. They haven't did him with that charge yet, or that we know of. If you don't believe that they're gonna try to hit him with those guns in there, they saving all that for last. The drugs, the guns. They'll do another superseding indictment and add those two up if he don't take the plea. If he don't take the plea bargain to the sex trafficking or whatever, stuff like that, they're gonna say, okay, let's add the guns to it and let's add the drugs to it.
How you feel about Keefe D? He out here crying to come home, man.
Keefe D, I think is a mistravesty of justice that Keefe D is still in jail without a bail, or they're not making his bail low enough for him to go home. For the fact of the matter is that Keefe D was told to say something by a LAPD officer who was writing a book, doing a movie, and making himself rich off of an event that happened in our culture. And that he's in jail because the cops said a lot of these things first.
What do you think? Is Diddy truly a victim of false accusations? Or has Cassie finally cracked the mask of a decades-long lie? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and hit subscribe. Because this trial, it's just getting started.
There is an explosive new lawsuit that I'm going to break down for you, filed by a man named Joseph Manzaro in Florida. And this is actually in Florida federal court. So he is actually identifying himself in this lawsuit. He's not using a pseudonym. And he claims that he is a survivor of human trafficking and sexual exploitation, and more specifically, as outlined in the complaint, quote, plaintiff was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually maimed as a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise beginning in 2015, orchestrated and facilitated by the defendants. The pattern of threats, concealment, manipulation, and psychological coercion persisted for years, extending the statute of limitations under federal tolling doctrines. Now, here is the kicker, quote, high-profile individuals, including Jacob Arabo, Jay-Z, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyonce Knowles Carter are identified as witnesses due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. Wow. And freak-off, of course, is something that we've heard many times before, both in Combs' criminal case and other civil cases, to describe these prolonged sexual episodes, usually with sex workers. But Manzaro is suing Sean Combs, He is suing a man named Eric Mejias. He is suing Brendan Paul, who's been described in another lawsuit as Sean Combs' drug mule, Emilio Estefan, who is married to pop superstar Gloria Estefan, and Adria English, who filed her own lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming she too was a victim of sex trafficking. By the way, it's interesting he's not suing these other celebrities that I mentioned, like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Gloria Estefan, possibly because he doesn't believe their alleged liability amounted to a civil claim, but seems to want to call them as witnesses at a trial, although I have to imagine they will do everything in their power to quash any subpoena should this case progress, and we'll talk a little bit more about whether or not it will.